Hunters are known for their lightning fast reactions, their movement speed and their stealth. However, with the right armour and subclass you can turn your hunters into melee warriors, allowing you to get huge damage with your fists whilst dodging out the way of incoming attacks. Using a few choice items we can increase the melee damage by nearly 400% on a consistent basis. The following is a guide for Elias Handshake Hunter PVE build in Destiny 2. And if you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe down below for all the latest Destiny 2 content and turn on notifications by hitting that bell. This build is all about hunters dodging and punching with their melee ability. So we're going to be using a combination of exotic armour and subclass abilities to maximise the melee damage output so you can take out as many enemies as fast as possible in PvE. And this is good for the current Contact public event, as well as strikes, nightfall, gambit and any future PvE activities where there's lots of smaller enemies you have to take out quickly. And first up we've got the Elias Handshake exotic gauntlets. And these gauntlets were originally introduced in Season 6 of Destiny 2, and you can pick these up from Xur when he's got them, or try getting them from his weekly exotic engram. They're a random world drop exotic, so you may get lucky and get them out there in the wild. The particular perk we're interested in for this build is called Cross Counter. So with Cross Counter, using your arc melee ability or being hit by a melee attack will allow you to follow up with an extremely powerful melee counter punch that will heal you. You also get a mobility enhancement mod and that increases mobility. So Cross Counter is the main benefit here, and when testing down in the Tribute Hall we can see our initial melee attacks on the Ogre are at 2,523 and the follow-up melee is 7,569, and that's about a 200% increase in melee damage, which is absolutely incredible. So next up, let's have a look at the subclass, and we're using the Way of the Warrior on the Hunter, which is top tree Arcstrider. We're going to be using our Arc subclass here, and specifically the top tree, as there's some perks on here that's going to synergise really nicely along with the exotic armour and the weapons. So first of all we got Combination Blow, so kill an enemy with this melee ability to trigger health regeneration and increase your melee damage temporarily. We've also got Combat Flow, so melee kills recharge your dodge ability. Got Deadly Reach, so dodging increases your melee range, allowing you to lunge further to strike enemies. And we've got Lethal Current, so after dodging, each arc staff hit creates a damaging lightning aftershock. So there's a couple of elements to this subclass which are going to come in really handy. So first of all, we've got Combination Blow, so when you get a kill with a melee ability it's going to regenerate your health as well as give you extra damage on your melee attack, and this stacks up to 3 times. Also we're going to be using Combat Flow where the melee charges our dodge ability. And finally we're going to be taking advantage of Gambler's Dodge, and this is where you dodge to perform a death tumble, avoiding the enemy attack. And dodging near enemies fully recharge your melee ability. Combination Blow allows us to get health back as well as increase the melee damage, Combat Flow recharges our dodge, and Gambler's Dodge recharges our melee ability, so it all works really well, especially when pairing it up with our exotic armour. So when we use Combination Blow in the Tribute Hall we get 4,037 for our melee, which is an increase of 60%. And then stacking on Cross Counter from Elias Handshake we're getting 12,111 damage, which is an increase of 380% on the base melee damage. And this is going to make you super powerful in PvE activities where have you taken out small enemies, yellow bars and even champions really quickly. Well, next up we've got the weapons, so specifically we're going to be looking at 1-2 punch and swashbuckler perks. For this build we're interested in pairing up weapons that work well with the melee ability. So I'm using a combination of 1-2 punch on my shotgun and also swashbuckler on my pulse rifle. So with 1-2 punch, hitting an enemy with every pellet in a shot increases melee damage for a short duration, and with swashbuckler this weapon gains increased damage from melee kills and kills with this weapon. 1-2 punch works really well at close range, as you can run in there and soften up an enemy with a shotgun blast and then follow up with 2 quick melee attacks to get the benefits of Cross Counter. So I've got the Last Man Standing shotgun from the Reckoning that has 1-2 punch, although any shotgun with 1-2 punch will do. I'm also using the Cold Denial pulse rifle from Season of Arrivals, so then I've still got some range attacks for taking out enemies at distance, and when Swashbuckler's active then you're going to get an increase in damage to those weapons. So using all the elements so far, if you've got Combination Blow active from Way of the Warrior and 1-2 punch, then you can get damage numbers of 18,166, which is a 600% increase in damage. Then a follow-up melee attack with a Cross Counter punch from Elias Handshake and that hits in at 12,111. Combining all these three elements together is going to make you absolutely unstoppable in PvE. So for the mods, I'm just using Charge with Light, and this is so I can get an increase in damage. So I'm using Taking Charge to become Charge with Light, and then High Energy Fire for that increase in damage when Charge with Light is in effect. So let's have a look at some gameplay, and now we've put this build together, let's go and test it out there in the wild. And for this I went into the Contact Public event on IO, but this would be good in any activity where you've got loads of enemies like Altars of Sorrow or Strikes. So first of all, you want to get a melee attack on a smaller enemy, and then if you kill them you'll trigger Combination Blow from Way of the Warrior. Follow that up with a charge melee attack from Liar's Handshake, and you want to dodge to refill your melee meter and start over again. Get some shots in there from 1-2 punch on your shotgun to boost damage for your melee attack, and if you want to take out some enemies at range, pop off a few shots with your swashbuckler weapon. So you want to punch, dodge, shotgun, and then repeat to take out all those enemies. Well, let me know down in the comments what you think of this build, and if you've got any ideas for improvements, especially in the mod slots, as I'm sure that this could be improved. Well, that's it for this guide for a Liar's Handshake Hunter PVE build in Destiny 2, and thanks so much for watching. For more Destiny 2 content like this, subscribe and share with a friend. To join our community, check out the Discord link in the description, and you can follow me on Twitter at TWIVG Podcast. If you enjoyed this video, found it useful, liking and sharing the video would really help me out. Otherwise, check out these other videos on the channel. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.